Audio test. Audio test. Good. Mac, Mox, how's it going? Michi. He's got to make some last minute Latinum to fund the credence. I've got a few promo packs up on the market, but they're just not moving. The entire market seems to be a little bit slow right now, which is standard for Stow, especially between larger content updates. Okay, just make sure everything's fine. Sam, how's it going? KCB's not terrible. So the issue is that in the video where I mentioned that the KCB is, back in the meta, it seems like everyone completely skipped a couple minutes before that, where I went in and said, everything after this point in the video is about high-end runs. And I think there's part of the issue there is that when there's a comment about high-end runs, people have no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Trekkie, how's it going? Suka? Staying in the air conditioning? Yeah, I'm trying my best, but the computer gets a bit warm. So, like in that video, I said, basically after number 11 there, I'm saying, this is all, the rest of this is for high-end or coordinated environments. And the KCB, this is actually the first question for today, is the kinetic cutting beam, the KCB, really back in the meta? If you're doing really high-end runs, and by high-end coordinated, that's typically meaning you've got, like 5 stacks of fleet power network array on you, you're doing runs that are well under a minute, then yeah, if you're in that environment, hell yeah, the KCB is back in. But if you're doing just pug runs, you just go into randoms, but the KCB is gonna do a fraction of that because the KCB only does well against unshielded targets. It's the TikTok curse. Peeps are impatient. Yeah. Good. A little bit tired. I went to bed pretty good time last night, but then I woke up at 4 a.m. and just couldn't fall back asleep. Steel, how's it going? Intriguing. Dark Eddie, how's it going? So yeah, in the video, I mean, I'll play it here. Let me make sure the volume's up. Into number 12 here, we're going to talk about the friendship, but for the remaining items I'm talking about, these are more tailored towards those really engaged with high-end or coordinated play. Everything else that I've mentioned so far, I mean, I put a disclaimer there, but I'm seeing comments of, we had a few in the stream yesterday, people are going out tossing KCB back on every last build that they've got, and I had it like that disclaimer in there ahead of that this 12 through 15 on that list were for more high-end coordinated environments. I think people saw KCB mentioned in a meta video, and a lot of people have wanted KCB to be good for a long time, so they just saw that and immediately jumped to a conclusion. Yeah, and didn't sleep too well. Burke, how's it going? Is the new Muds pack worth it? No. Nope. I know I need to do a video on it, but it really isn't worth it. It is truly the most underwhelming Muds bundle we've had in a long time. Trouble Tribbles, thanks for stopping by. So the thing is, when we talk about like really high-end, coordinated runs, like those runs are like 30 seconds long, 20, 30 seconds. You know, a pug run you do that is 90 seconds to 2 minutes, that's the KCB is not going to perform anywhere near as well. So, is the KCB really back in the meta? If you are doing the things that I described in that video, which is playing with a coordinated team in an environment where there's basically no shields, then yeah, KCB is back in the meta because Fleet Power Network Ray is giving it haste. But if you're not, and you're just playing in random content, the KCB will still do damage, but it's going to be closer to a turret rather than a dual heavy cannon like we were seeing in the high-end runs. It's not going to perform as well universally. Yeah, I did talk about the month's bundle in a news video. I just was so unimpressed by it. Not really, Mac. Just do whatever flavor you like. No desire to play. The thought of just doing the summer event daily and dealing with the stupid jetpack. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you there. I know a lot of people get really hyped up about the summer event, but I just personally find that it never really does that much for me. Osiris, how's it going? Jay? Yeah, so in random content, I wouldn't get too excited about the KCB. If you're playing with a team, then that's a different story. I think it'll do well. But if you're not playing with a team all the time that's coordinating things, no, don't get so hyped up about don't get hyped up about it. Summer event is when I get to waste my lobby. It's probably what I'm just gonna do on Tuesday. Blanc, how's it going? So question 2, are split runs really the ultimate key to high DPS numbers? So this is popping up because I have seen this pop up in some conversations on some Discords. The split runs get a lot of attention because those are what the highest DPS numbers are coming from right now, but you can't just jump into one and expect that that's going to be how you get your record. In order for a split run to really be of benefit to someone, they have to already be at a skill level where they can go in and take out the start group fast enough. They need to be able to move from point A to point B on the map fast enough. If you take someone in that, you know, let's say isn't even at a million DPS, they're going to get more out of a left-right run. Split runs do really well when the DPS player is at a level where they're capable of them, but like if you're not cracking 2 mil in a left right, you're not at a DPS level where you should be doing splits. I would say like a better threshold would be when you're getting around 2.5 in a left right. That's when you can start exploring split runs, but below that it's just not going to be that great. What's the best build for random content? I usually just use a CSV build on a command ship with suppression barrage. If you look at my solo run videos from earlier this year, the Terran Eagle build that I did with CSV, that would work really well for random content. Yeah, the Ethereum, there's just not really any supply of them out there because pretty much everyone looked at it and saw the stats and it's just really bad. Yeah. And that's pretty much how I am as of late. Now that I've got my endeavors done, I have no incentive to keep going in and doing the endeavors. Question 3, do I regret buying the 14th or Dyson bundles? The Dyson bundle The Dyson bundle, I still, I got the EC out of it. That was my main incentive to get it, to be honest. But if it weren't for me getting basically the billion EC out of it, I would have felt bad about buying it, because the ships honestly in the Dyson bundle, like they're not bad, they're just not for me. And the mode swap having a minute cooldown just killed it for me trying to use them. Osiris still got to grind plasma and phaser ISOs, so lazy now. Yeah, the Fleet Norway is good. Do I sell the tradable stuff? Yeah. Usually what I try to do. Stunned, how's it going? For the 14th bundle, I have no regrets about picking that up. I'm still not happy about the ship that they put in there, but I think for the 4 new ships, that those alone made it worth it. The 4 new ships in the 14th bundle, I think each have value, whereas the Dyson bundle, like they're a bunch of size ships, and we're at a point in the meta where EPG has fallen a little bit behind. And if you're going for EPG, you wouldn't use those ships anyways. The Dyson Science Destroyers are meant for hybrid setups, so do Psi or Torp Psi, and you can make them work. I showed that on stream when they came out, but they are very much ships that I used for a couple days there, and I'll probably never fly again. Madman, how's it going? So I don't really regret either. But the Dyson one, again, the main attraction there for me was the billion EC that I got, basically. The billion from selling the experimental upgrades. The 14th bundle, I mean, all the ships in there have value. Even the cruiser, that can be made into an okay tank platform. But the console on it, I know, is a lot of fun for some people. Yeah, the Dyson bundle not having some more Proton stuff was disappointing, and the traits on it sucked. The traits and consoles were underwhelming. Galactic, how's it going? Don't like the mechanic, rather like how it's applied on the United Earth. I like the look of the size ships, but would I wish I could do a FOB build on them? You can, but yeah, it's going to be a bit rough. Need more Proton? Yes. Waldo, how's it going? Krieg? Oh, doing good. Had some nice runs earlier last week, so glad to get a couple in before the servers go back to just being fun for the next couple of weeks. Okay, question 4. Do I have any thoughts on the dilithium exchange? Will I be doing another bot farm video? I absolutely know that there are bot farms still operating. We've clearly seen a large influx of sellers when you look at eBay or player auctions. And you can see like the reviews on them, and you can see that they are getting a lot of sales. So there's a lot of activity there, and those operations that they've got going, they've clearly got something new sorted out for farming resources. And I don't know what the exact methods are. I know that some are automating Admiralty. I know that some probably have found some other queue to do. I think that there's some of that where the only way that's going to be found is if Cryptic or Deca really start to look into things, to look into accounts that are, generating lots of resources consistently through Admiralty. There's going to be some legitimate players in there, but I think you're going to find that there's also some illegitimate players in there. So that's something that needs to be manually done on the developer's side. I can't go and hunt down people that are doing Admiralty. So I can't really do a video that's, exposing that. Scuba, thank you for the resub. Much appreciated. Call Cryptic out. They need to investigate. Yeah. Admiralty is not worth botting, in my opinion. Takes too long to get your money back. So they've found something out there that they can farm. So will I do another bot farm video? If I get enough evidence to do a video, then sure. But like I just said, I think that this is going to be something that needs to be hunted down on their side. Like as a player, I don't have the resources to look into that potential farming avenue. Has there been any educated guess or calculation on how much they would actually need to put smoother servers in? I don't know. Okay, question 5. Do I actually hate beam overload? I think for casual play, beam overload is fine. But as someone that is engaged with the DPS scene, it brings me pain when someone's trying to do high DPS with beam overload, because in that environment it sucks. Yeah. So to dive into why I think beam overload is a bit weaker when you start to get into higher level play, we have a lot of things. The way that a lot of content is designed benefits from you having an AoE based damage source. So you'll often have groups of enemies, and your options are take them out one by one with beam overload, or use an AoE firing mode like CSV or fire at will, or some of the other AoE options out there like a side build, and take them all out in one go. And the way that it works in Stowe is the way that it's all balanced. The AoE options just end up being such a stronger option. And with beam overload, it's more expensive to set up because you do need to get a lobby ship to get the extension trait. When you go single target, you're going to have less survivability because you're not able to proc the Valdor shield absorptive frequency generator console as often. You have less outgoing shots for any of the other heals that are based off your outgoing damage. You're making a lot of sacrifices to do it. And to me, that's why I consider beam overload more of a theme or immersion firing mode. When someone says they want to do beam overload build, it's typically, in my experience, that they just they really want to do beams. They're looking for the theme. Performance is not their main priority. It's more of they're going for the theme. And what about surgical strikes? I feel the same way about surgical strikes. I think single target anything energy weapons not as good as AoE. Yeah, it is just so much stronger to just do CSV. Yes, there's distributed targeting, but that is not enough. Is it true that Viridian Plasma has some issues under CSV? Yes. Yep, we found that there is some delays with the travel times. So, without CSV Ultimate travel, or without CSV, Viridian actually travels faster than something like Ultimate, but under CSV, Viridian travels much slower than other plasma variants. So if you're under 1 to 2 million DPS, that's not really an issue. But if you're starting to push over 3 million DPS, that's where you would probably start to see that Viridian starts to hold you back. Yeah. Let me expand chat here for a moment. Do I have the Daywin ships? Yes, I do. But I don't have any of those weapons. Should Beam Overload be this week? Multi-target should still be better, but Beam Overload doesn't need to be. I think it's just that they've put a lot of investment into single target abilities over the past couple of years, but the content that they put into the game is still so AoE focused. I only ever seem to get CSV builds to perform on par with my Beam Overload builds. Both sit around 800k. It's just a matter of practice. It's that with CSV, you know, in any other firing mode, it's just a matter of getting used to flying with that different mode. You know, the way you fly a CSV build is going to be a little bit different from Beam Overload, because Beam Overload, you're just focusing one target at a time. CSV, you need to be positioning to make sure that your cannons are able to hit multiple targets as often as you can. So there can be some differences for how you fly them. What do I think of a new difficulty? I don't think they'll do that, because there's realistically not that many people that are able to go in and just smash through Elite. Yeah, I've swapped over to Ultimate for the time being, but you can do just crafted plasma too if you want. Eric, that was the assumption also, but nope. It seems that there are a variety of weapons that just travel slower under different firing modes. Fun. Question 6: should Omni beam restrictions be changed? Absolutely. You should be able to slot as many Omnis as you want in aft weapon slots. So an example. Step back for a second. The ultimate, yeah, I believe it is right now. But the issue is right now with the Omni restrictions. You know, we've got this new update to the obelisk set, and that has an anti-proton Omni in it, a warp core, and some other stuff. But with the Omni beam, the issue is on an AP build, you'd want to be running the Baul anti-proton set Omni with that set from the Lobi store. And because you can only have one set Omni on, that really limits you. It really, you're forced to choose one or the other. And I think it would just be better if you could run multiple set Omnis together, but you could only run them in aft weapon slots. And another example, you know, with the limitations we have, the Ultimate set with the Ultimate Omni, that used to be the go-to for a long time. But now that the Pavin Omni exists, you have to choose one or the other, and the Pavin Omni, especially on a CSV build, can net you several hundred K DPS. So you want to go for the Pavin Omni, but you would also love to run the Ultimate at the same time, but you can't. So there are some limitations from the current setup that they have that just honestly suck. Yeah, Madman. Infamous, I don't know. I mean, they do have lower damage to compensate, so I think it's fine. Charlie, that's definitely part of it. The reason that I suspect it is like gold sellers returning is because when you look at like player auctions, eBay, you can see that there are a ton more gold sellers active than there were like 6 months ago. That there's been a very, very sharp rise in the amount of gold selling activity. And it's sort of corresponded with the recent spikes in the Dill-X. Yeah, Corfez with a good team, you can get through it very fast. With a random team, it can be frustrating. And balancing content difficulty is really hard in this game because of just how varied the player base skill level is. Yeah, like Dan said, a lot of players still struggle on advanced. I know a lot of people that have left comments over the years that are struggling on even just normal content. So it's just really hard for them to balance because of just how wide the skill level is in this game. And a lot of that is because the game doesn't explain things to you. Read 4 Billy C per day. I haven't looked at all the sellers, but I thought I saw a bit more than that on some of them. But I again, I haven't looked through all of the sellers. What kind of DPS numbers do I get on solo or Gala Elite Patrols? I'm just trying to compare. I haven't actually tried. I know that came up the other day too. Let's do an Argala and find out. I'll catch up on chat here in a minute.
State the nature of your emergency.
Warning, ship is under attack. Warning, ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
You haven't. Looks like our fight got them to notice us.
Ship is
Let's
under
go
attack.
over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
Target shields have failed.
Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them and whittle down their numbers.
We will not go quietly.
You will stand down and surrender to the Vented Guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the asteroids, possibly consistent with bolt holes, temporary hideouts.
Not
We do
positioning
what
well
we
here.
want, where we want.
Target shields have failed.
Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum of their comms now, but it was probably a call for assistance.
4 shields failing.
I'm taking you
Moving
with me.
slow.
Target
Not exactly
shields
a
have failed.
great run for me, but just give you some numbers.
That's got them. Excellent work. We'll send over
So
a
it's like
pacification
90
party,
seconds,
take the
330k. I
suspect
mean,
into
if I was
custody.
positioning better and got through that intro dialogue a little bit faster, it'd be a smidge better, but that
Thank
is
you
a
for your
limiting
assistance.
factor.
We have the suspect in.
That was slow, you know. Okay, let me head back up into space and just get them cooldowns going. Might get some gambling here too. Okay. Let me catch up on chat. That was 330. Like I said, probably could get a little bit higher if I position better, but there's just one that hopefully gets you a good idea. Why do I think Cryptic went back to radio silence after being so open and talkative back in April and May? I have to assume the amount of silence has just been that something has gone, that something has interrupted the transition a little bit or something. I don't know. I would have expected Deca to have taken more control, been more vocal by this point. So I wonder if there's been some delays. Yeah, pretty much, Mark. Do I think Proton will ever become a main energy type? If they put some Proton consoles in, it could possibly get there. Yeah, I know, Mac. Yeah, loading. I'd have to look into the numbers a bit more, but that's a good point. That if they are only moving 3 to 4 bill a day, that's not really that much. Will I be grabbing the credence? Yes, that's my plan. Might have some EC here in a moment to gamble. See. Well, keep in mind too with shields, if you do emergency power to shields now, that gives you immunity to shield drains, right? So, or resistance, I don't remember, but like emergency power to shields should help a lot more now with the shield drains. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna have any 10 forwards again for the foreseeable future. Ryan, they're just like base Mark Infinity. You can't upgrade them. So, not really anything special. Top 5 ships to go with CSV. Bodwar Juggernaut, Legendary Avenger, The Inquiry, Dalkina. After that, it's really whatever you feel good with. The question with the credence is, does it stack? And we need confirmation on the exact specifics of what the console is actually providing. I've heard things, but I want to hear, or I want to see confirmation. Do I ever think there will be a new specialization? Not anytime soon. Tim, how's it going? Am I still a fan of the Husnock? The Husnock is still a very capable ship. The Atlantis is good. The ping latency, that is in game. That is slash netgraph1. So in game, in your chat window, just type in slash net graph space 1. And then if you want to turn that off, you can just put in 0. Ibana, you want to buy a T6 coupon? I have one for sale. I know you've said it again, or said it before, but why is it, again, that you need to run a sport ship? Why does it need to be a Silic? The Silic is one of the few ships in the game that can use the IFF manipulator console. That console has a clicky on it that is a significant amount of debuff. So here is the IFF manipulator on the Silic. That is up to minus 400 debuff to the target of that console. So in a coordinated environment where you want to take out a big target really fast, that's it. Am I going to test the Rise of Ship plus 4-piece set? I happen to have an advanced obelisk, so I might go in and play with it on stream. But I think the Credence is going to be the main priority. I would take 340 for the T6 coupon. And yeah, the Silicon do type 2 Beza Type 7s. Heard from a stranger we're getting a free observation token and an Ethereum kit module next season. I haven't heard anything about, free items, but I think it's safe to say we're getting more Ethereum items. But for any other potentially leaked items, I would have no idea about that. As I've said in the past, I do not violate the Star Trek Online terms of service. Yeah, the new Ryza ship, you can definitely set it up as a tank, yeah. In ISC, the gate will sometimes destroy me very quickly. You might have got hit by a torp. There will Dark Eddy. Okay, let's go on to the next set of questions here. So the next 5 are from Mac over in the Discord. Let me pull them up. Okay. Let me just take a screenshot of these so that it's a bit larger. What system lord would I serve and why? Oh man. I don't know. Like, serving any of them would suck there, John. I don't know. Definitely not Apophis. You're taking out that early? You would be, yeah, you seem to be a bit more chill, but that was because he was like really old and he was losing it, right? So his, if I recall, like his um, right hand man or whatever, I forget what they're called. What Teal'c was for to Apophis. It seemed like that guy was in a bit more control there. So yeah, you would probably be a good one. Okay, so Max questions here. Number one, do I hope that the new community manager at Deca will engage the community and the content creators to promote a better overall game experience? I mean, that'd be nice. I don't expect, I'm going in with no expectations, and I think that's probably the best way to go about it. But I mean, I would like, more engagement would be good. Announcing things much more ahead of time would be good. Just better communication in general, I think would be good for everyone. And for content creators, I think that there's opportunities there for them to do some promotions with the CCs. They have a new lockbox ship they want to introduce. Maybe seed a couple out to CCs, give us a few to give away to the community. Stuff like that probably wouldn't be the worst idea for them. Get people talking about the new stuff that they're putting in. First Prime is what I was thinking of, yeah. Number two, would I like to see more advanced announcements of sales events bundles in the game? Yeah. Yeah. Axel, how's it going? Short. I mean, I get this, but I just now saw you're online, so I'm listening to your feed. Yeah. Glad you could stop by. Short. Yeah, just having dates and general information right wouldn't be asking much. For new ships too, like putting tooltips of the consoles and traits in there would also be very beneficial. And even better if we can get formulas on how some of the stuff is, how some of the bonuses are calculated on items. But that's just get us the tooltips. That would be a good start. Get us the tooltips on things. That'd be a good start. Yeah, I mean, Deca's going to take a long time to get everything figured out on their end. Learning everything up, about how the game works, the game engine, all that. So, expecting big things like that, it's just unrealistic. Here, try out this new lockbox ship. It's terrible. I mean, the Ethereum Revelation is terrible. The credence isn't bad. It's the credence won't beat the options we already have, but the accessories on it potentially could be really interesting. Hypothetically, they could be, really, really good. We'll find out on Tuesday. A fall extension, yeah. Firewheel needs some love. Have I played the current Borg Battle Royale? What level did I survive to? I played it during the event. My boring response there is pretty much that my team has not had any thoughts to going in and trying to survive to a high level on that. I think in general right now, when it comes to like round record chasing and trying to go and set a record for that queue, is that right now we just don't care. So I haven't played it since I finished the event. If I could change 3 things about Stowe, what would I change? The servers, gambling, and just making things actually more accessible for your entire account. How hot am I? Well, it's 81 in here right now. So it's a little bit hot, and it's because the computer is generating a lot of heat in there, Chiaps. I'm not getting into anything political. What I can say there, Cheops, is I can't say who won the debate, but I think it's safe to say that America lost. I heard someone say that it might be one of Herlatch's last ships. Is the Baul Lobby better than the Obelisk fourth piece? Yeah, I would say so. The Baul Lobby set, especially the Omni and the console, those are really good for any AP builds because the reflection that does is some extra damage. The narrow angle beams. Why is Cheops terrible? The things that Cheops spams in messages, they're just extremely toxic. Why am I distracting myself with the DPS race when we all know Space Barbie is endgame? Terrible. If I could alter one thing on my free-to-play character, what is it? Make it attack. What's better for Nanny? Ball or Disruptor? Disruptor. Disruptor Mark IIs. Yeah, that is one issue with the narrow angle beams, is you can only have 2 on, yeah. Well, the free-to-play character is an engineer. Okay, back to the questions here. More advanced announcement of sales events bundles in the game, absolutely. Getting announcements, just 1 to 2 days ahead of something dropping, especially a major bundle, really sucks. Let us know ahead of time that, hey, there's going to be a new bundle dropping, a couple weeks from now, so that we can financially prepare, set some money aside if we want. But the day ahead announcements suck, and I can't English. The sales are too short right now, given the deluxe backlog. Next season expectations, I expect it to just be more of the same. Probably, well, we should have a new lockbox. Probably Ethereum would be my guess. So maybe some Proton stuff, but it'll be a new lockbox, a new TFO, a new story mission, a new event. Like, it's not going to be a ton. It'll just be more of the same. New ships I'd like to see in the game. A good Sovereign. A new Sovereign class. Yes, give me a new Sovereign that's got basically the same stats as the Legendary Avenger, and we'll be set. Any changes apart from servers I'd like to see come to the game? Sort of answered this already, but making things available account-wide. Like, I was thinking about... So we're gonna... I guess this is the next question, actually. Question 8. Any updates to the Sign Engineer characters that I wanted to build out? I've put that on hold because it's just so damn expensive to go in and get all the ships that I'd want to build them out the same as my TAC character. I would need to go in and pick up like a couple $100 worth of ships for both of the characters, and it just doesn't make sense to do that right now. Financially, I would love to go in and build out the engineer and side character, but it's just not financially feasible. So I've put that project on hold. Like I have enough resources that I could absolutely go in and, you know, pick up most of the ships I want on those characters. But it's just the thought of the cost. It's, do I want to continue building out, you know, casual, be able to afford, you know, all the upcoming ships without putting more money into the game, or do I want to build up these other two characters just to see, or just to show how far behind, you know, Sai and Ninja are in the DPS scene? It just, I have these ships on multiple characters, and I have to spend a ton more to get them on those other characters. It's very frustrating. Is there a ship that I would consider as underrated? The Suliban Silic. The Suliban Silic is really good. The Fleet Intel Bozeman Heavy Frigate, that's really good. I don't think Ghost Shepherd, I don't think we're ever going to see the Foundry return. CSV tanks generally don't do that well. Fire Will has a really good good advantage when it comes to threat generation. Some Dole, how's it going? Yeah, Cheops has some lovely comments like that. Oh no, Sai. I think Sai's a really good career. Science is really good. Science has some good utility. Question 9. How have the story streams impacted channel viewership and growth? You know, for the normal videos, it hasn't had any impact. For the streams, it has definitely had an impact though. Let me see if I can show this here. Okay, so here is May. Here's my May numbers for views. 18.5K for live streams. If I go back to April, 15.2K. And if I look at June, so when it comes to views on the streams, the story streams have definitely had a negative impact. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but it's you know, if you look at between YouTube and Twitch, I'd say it's about a 40 to 50% hit. Yeah, I think Psy tanks are really good. Didn't I stream less in June? I mean, I've streamed every weekend. Guess let's see here. So June's had 1, 2, 3, 8 streams in June. And for May, how many was there? I mean, pretty comparable amount. It's just the story streams, like the first one did well because people saw me suffering through the initial story arc, and then after that it just went down and down. But yeah, the videos have still been doing fine. The meta one, again, that thing's just been doing really, really well. Yeah, that's possible. Just not enough of an announcement ahead of time. Yeah. What is this outside you speak of? It's a terrible, terrible place. Okay, question 10, where are ship reviews? I've received a couple questions about that, especially given that I never ended up doing any reviews for the 14th bundle ships. I don't know. It just sort of fell off. There was, issues with the 14th stuff when it first came out, where it took Cryptic like a month and a half to actually get things sorted out, and then just kept getting postponed. I still want to do ship reviews, but I also feel like, to be honest, the stat breakdown videos, largely cover that, because you don't have to really fly a ship to understand how well the ship itself is going to do. You can determine that from the stats, the bridge officer layout, especially the weapon setup. The bridge officer setup's the big thing for how capable the ship is going to be. So really the reviews are needed for the accessories. And I do think I need to get back into doing some proper ship reviews. It's just finding a way that doesn't get tiring. Well, I think Kenobi actually, I was asking about that. I think Kenobi may have had a higher EPG run at like two something, but I think it got pulled down. Yeah, indeed, Chaps. When do I think we'll get another Phoenix event to clean up the backlog on the Dilex? Not soon enough. Which bundle is best for increasing DPS for a mid gamer? Legendary Battle Cruiser, and probably the 14th. Like, you can just use T6 coupons to get the Alani and the Atlantis from the 14th, but if you're interested in enough of the ships from the 14th, going for the entire bundle does make sense. Yeah. King Saw, thank you for the follow. What's my favorite looking Fed ship? I really like the Legendary Avenger with the Gamma skin. But I also really like the Sovereign, with the really armored version of it, the Imperial skin. I always thought that looked cool. That was the only ship I ever got a 3D print of. And the last thing here for the Q&A is, what are my plans here for July? So I have some best of videos to get caught up on. Still need to re-record the event campaign recommendations. I should have just put that video public, even though it wasn't great. Guitar Alliance, thank you for the raid with 37 viewers. Much appreciated. Hope you had a good stream. Regen skin on Sovereign is best. Again, Guitar, thank you. Thank you for the follow there, Gex. Natasha. Evox. Yeah, and the thing is, if there is a bot farm doing Admiralty, the only way that's going to be found is if Cryptic does something about it. Cryptic would have to investigate that. Belfast, thank you for the follow. Yeah. My plan for July is to not die from heat. That's a good plan. Oh, content wise too. I ordered one of those 100 mystery ship boxes from Master Replicas. So when that arrives, that's going to be a big opening stream of its own. And I will be giving away a couple of the ships that I get. Cave Troll, thank you for the follow. If Deca did a CC program, would I join? Absolutely. But right now, the CC field for Stowe isn't that large, so there wouldn't be a ton of CCs for them to pull in right away. But it would still be good for them to do. Okay. I'm going to beam up to space here. I'm a ship collector on Stowe, so was buying the bundles I like. Okay, yeah. I mean, if you're a collector, you know, we each play the game for our own reasons. I'd like to chase DPS. Some people like to stand on Drozana and burn their ships other ways. And if you're curious about that, you know, check out Nick MB's channel. Hey, Cheops brings his engineer into a lot of the DPS runs. Meet the new DECA community manager? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Are Cytort builds still worth making? They're still viable. I'd say join the builds Discord if you're curious to learn more about that playstyle. There's an entire section over there for size stuff. And for those of you on Twitch, if you're curious where else I'm responding, got both YouTube and Twitch going right now, so you're seeing chat at the bottom left from both. Yeah, the builds Discord, it's a bit overwhelming because of all the channels in it, but there is areas in there for science builds. So you can pull from ideas you see in there. Tons of builds posted. Well, I think the Tommy gun is cool. Yeah, the Tommy gun's fine. So Nick and Cheops are competitors? Yes. Yeah, CSV with all the haste right now is pretty crazy. Yeah, let's do another Argala, because that was a request for me to do earlier. Let's see if I can fly better. It's hard for you to compete with Nick's onesie. Terrible. A couple months back, Mark.
State the nature of your emergency.
This is the Kobayashi Maru. Warning, ship is under attack. Ship is under attack. Target's shield has failed.
Yeah, it's been going up over time. That start was really slow. Can I explain how the Dills and exchange works? Yeah, here in a minute.
You haven't. Looks like our fight got them to notice us.
Ship is under
Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding. Keep concentrating fire on individual ships. Separate them and whittle down their numbers.
We will not go quietly.
You will stand down and surrender to the Benton Guard. Sensors are picking up small habitations in some of the asteroids, possibly consistent with bolt holes and temporary hideouts.
We do what we want, where we want.
Hell, and the fleet power ran out there.
Picked up a tight beam transmission on a new frequency. We're jamming that spectrum of their comms now, but it was
Oh, and
probably
I've
a
no
call for
mobility again.
assistance.
I'm taking you with me.
Port shield failing.
That's got it. Excellent work. We'll send over a pacification party.
That was even
take
worse than the first
suspect
one.
into custody.
310. Okay, so how does the Dills Zen exchange work? Let me show that. It lets me swap
Thank you
loadouts.
for your...
Okay, so the Dills Zen exchange here. So if you have some dilithium you're trying to sell, you have to put it up at, right now on PC, you have to put it up at 500 dil per zen. If you put it up at anything other than 500 dil per zen, it's never going to sell. So if I want to go in and pick up, let's say I just want to sell 20,000 dilithium per zen, I put the order in and you have to leave it there. If you cancel this offer, pull it down, whatever, it's going to reset your position in the queue. So when I put up that listing there to buy the 40 zen for 20k dilithium, that put me at the very end of the queue here, and it's first come, first served. So every order that was placed time-wise before I just placed this one has to go through before mine will go through, meaning that it will take almost 3 weeks with the current backlog for that order to go through. And if I pull it down at any point and repost it, trying to see if it'll go faster, what I'm actually doing is I am resetting myself to the back of the queue. So you put your offer up to at 500 dil per zen, you put it up, and you just wait. Again, if you go in and you get impatient and you pull this down and then you repost it, you've just made your wait even longer. I have heard about people, back when the backlog's been like this in the past, I remember people that had their sale sitting there for like 3 weeks, and then they pulled it down and put it back up because they thought it was broken. if they'd waited a couple more days, it would have went through. But because they pulled it down and put it back up, they now have to wait another, 3+ weeks. So it's just a matter of being patient. Yeah, that was ISC loadout, so not great for this. CSV, just, it's the visuals always messed up. Yeah, that was elite. I mean, I've done the solo builds on the solo run videos. Those are basically, if it can do a solo run, that'd be good to take into a pug where you don't know what you're getting. It's waiting for people to put Zen in that they're selling for dilithium. Is the DaVinci Master glitch only a visual tooltip glitch? I honestly don't know there. Thought this was a video instead of a live stream. Sorry. So in infected runs, what we're doing to counter OSS is, because the run times are really short in the coordinated stuff, in prep phase, around 7 to 8 seconds on the briefing phase timer, I hit enhanced induction coils and M6 computer, and then I swap to my DPS loadout. And at those consoles, once you've clicked them, and you've deslotted them, you still have the buff up. So enhanced induction coils would cancel the OSS subsystem shutdown. Yeah, 5 Nadarians, definitely. Yeah, the Nadarian, yeah. Chiaps, a DaVinci Resolve tutorial for senior citizens. I can't even with it. Terrible. Yeah, Inch Team also works. I mean, the Nadarian Defender is 17k base, but it's 42.50 during a mud sale. Yeah, the Nadarian's pretty OP. Okay. Let's do a TFO here. As a DPS player, the only stuff I know how to do is the board queues. So, infected the Conduit Elite public queue. Let's see how it goes. Side tanked alien too. When I took in the Nadarian into some event queues in the past on characters with like basic or no gear, I think it was still like 50k.
The situation is grim.
You will become one with the Borg.
Scanning the nanite transformer. Gone. Additional data is available. The nanite
Allied drones can repair the transporters. Stop them!
More shields failing.
A probe is closing in on a transporter. Destroy it!
Rear shield failing. More shields failing. Left shield failing.
We will add your technological and biological distinctiveness to our own.
Target shield has failed. More shields failing.
Need to change that keybind with adrenaline.
Right shield failing. Hull integrity below 75%. Door shield failing. Left shield failing. Target shield has failed.
Okay, 90-second run.
Sensors confirm that the transwarp conduit has been destroyed. However, our scans of the starbase are still...
I flew that terrible. I'm surprised it doesn't hurt DPS to be running CSV2 verse 3. Yeah, it's, I mean, the Legendary Avenger, it's just the mobility with it. It just moves so fast. Finished the Cabal arc on the free-to-play? Nice. I don't bother with Vincent Kish. I just, the chance on it's so low. Yeah, Deca will most certainly continue with the anniversary bundles. Marathon, how's it going? Terrible. All how's it going? Okay, let's do a Hive. Hive Onslaught Elite Public Queue. See how it goes. A Negvar flight deck carrier. We need more good flight deck carriers. Yeah, the Legendary Bort is honestly a really good ship. If you're a Klingon fan, that is one of the stronger Klingon ships you can get. Yeah, the Type 7s are quite impactful. So with Infected, the Agony Redistributor is used on one of the side transformers to just help get everything down on the side fast.
State the nature of your emergency.
Did Fleet Command approach me for a sponsorship? Yes. I got an email from them a couple days ago asking for that they're interested in buying an ad spot for a video in August.
Ship is under attack.
You will find clarity. You will have strength of purpose. You will be whole.
Core shield failing. Rear shield failing. Left shield failing. Right shield failing. Target shield has failed. Core shield failing. Rear
I'm gonna die here very soon. I just wanted to go into the middle and see how far I could get. You know, surprisingly, most of the things I get on my business contact email are like, here, try this product we have on Amazon, and it's just something completely random. Like I had one earlier. I'm gonna die again.
right shield failing.
I got that cube out though, or not? Hazard emitters. Yeah, the Dalkina is definitely better for like random. The Jug and the Legendary Avenger I prefer for more coordinated environments, but the Dalkina has the ability to solo this entire thing with no deaths. I know Fleet Command has a mixed reputation with people, but you know, I'm not. The money would be nice. I'm not gonna say no to you know, seeing an ad spot, you know, taking an ad spot and seeing how it goes. I've not actually done one before. I know that'll upset some people, but like I said, I haven't done one before where they were reaching out, you know, wanting to do one, so I'll do it and see how it goes. No, I haven't bothered with Tetrion. Plasma is just so far ahead of everything else right now. I just feel like going with like anything else would just be wasting time.
Destroy this vessel, and I will claim another.
I did not mean to hit the web breaker. I don't have Valdor console on.
Eternal! This is not the end.
This is just a full deep slowdown. No Valdor console. Let's see here. The experimental weapon on the Dalkina is going to perform a lot better than like the KCB in a random environment. And the Dalkina's layout, the command, you can set that up for being able to survive a bit better than the Legendary Avenger. And it's got a hangar bay, a built-in cloak. Yeah, Suppression Barrage 3, absolutely. Yeah. But like Valdor console and CSV can drastically help with survivability. I've got plenty of solo vids up on the channel where that was like the one of the main ways I survived. So, this was a fun video I did last year. This I guess is unlisted, but this is a tank build on the Terran Eagle, and I'm surviving with CSV plus the Valdor console basically. Along with I think this was a set of the Colony TAC consoles. But yeah, honestly, the Delkina build that I put out in that video last year, that's pretty much what I'd recommend for like just doing random content. That's what I was running for a long time. I love the Delkina. It's a great ship. The reason I'm not running it still right now is just because the experimental weapon in the really high level runs, like the infected runs that are sub 30 seconds, the experimental weapons just they don't keep up because they don't benefit from firing cycle haste. Alan, how's it going? First strike's very nice. But yeah, the Valdor console plus CSV can do a lot for you. Van Home has Star Wars 5 to 7 inch ships that cost 18 pounds. Now they're planning around them 7 to 9 inch Trek models costing upwards of 60. I think the cost is a little bit high on what they've shown because it's 65 for just going out and buying just one without a plan. And if you're part of the subscription, it's 55 a month. It is expensive. For the mid-sized ships, and there's going to be a lot of them that people aren't interested in. It's rough. Like I've started collecting some of those, but it'd be nice to have some of them that they're planning to do, like the Odyssey. But there's others like the Farragut I just don't care about. What is my favorite ship so far? The Delkina. The Delkina has been by far one of the best lockbox purchases I think I ever got in the game. Because the Delkina, it's held up well. It's still a very capable DPS platform. It's capable of doing really well solo. It's just overall a really versatile platform. Freedom, no, I haven't seen that. And the Delkina is in muds, yes. Yeah, the best defense is a good offense, exactly. Well, look, I've been going for I don't know how long now. What was my experience with the legendary Miranda and the trait One Big Happy Fleet? I tried it out and I don't know, I guess I just ended up being sort of underwhelmed by it. The legendary Miranda is fine, but the trait, I guess I was just hoping to have more of an impact, and it ended up not really being as game-changing for me as I'd hoped. Look, I need to cut things short here because I just looked at the time. So thank you to everyone that stopped in, and again for the raid over on Twitch there, much appreciated. Who do I need to raid on Twitch? Keep going. Okay, Twitch side is going to raid Baron. Again, thank you everyone for tuning in. I'll be doing a stream on Tuesday, going over the new ships. So stay tuned for that, and there'll probably be a news video out tomorrow. Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. I will see you guys around.